So like the Sonic Mania panel at Comic-Con this year fucking did more to make me genuinely excited for the game than anything else they've done in the build up to the release of this game like all year because hey, happy anniversary. It's been a year since the announcement of Sonic Mania and Sonic Project 2017. It's been a while. Like that original video I did talking about Sonic Mania when it was first announced is now a year old. Isn't that fucking cool? And I've been pretty reserved. That's probably the most generous way to put it. Another way to put it would be outright cynical. I have been outright cynical about Sonic Mania up until now. Because up until now, I was like, man, fuck this game. Fuck this Mega Man 9 bullshit. Like, it's just a retrobait rehash. It's throwing the Sonic haters a bone. It's throwing the, oh, Sonic hasn't been good since the Genesis people a bone. And boy, have they not made me less hateful towards them. The Metro interview. Like, the fucking guy sits down with the Sonic guy, the guy leading the series. Izuka? It's like 2 I's in a row. I don't know how the fuck you're supposed to pronounce that. Like, he does an interview with him, and he basically goes, oh, these new modern 3D Sonic games all suck. I hate Shadow. Like, why are you even bothering to make this? If Sonic Mania sells well, will you stop making 3D Sonic games? And just being a total and complete asinine cunt. And just, like, I really have a problem with the disrespect towards creators. What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't care how much you hate a piece of media, insulting the person who created it is uncalled for. Unless it's, like, something that's, like, I don't know, like Nazi propaganda. Like, say you're talking about an Uwe Boll movie. I don't care how much you hate Uwe Boll. The fact that he made the movie means he's doing more with his goddamn life and contributing to our collective human experience and culture than you are. Like, do you know how much time and work and energy goes into making something? I don't care how bad you think the final product is. You don't go up to the guy who made its face and talk shit about it to him. That's bullshit. You don't disrespect artists like that. I have a big problem with that. And you know, say what you want about Uwe Boll's movies, but I really like the way he would challenge his critics to boxing matches and beat the shit out of them. Kinda wish more people did that. Like, fucking, like, cause I always think of Ed Wood. Because in my head, like, even the worst piece of shit movie that's ever been made, it took more effort and energy and passion to make that than it took to call it a piece of shit, right? Like, even a bad movie, it takes, like, you don't make a movie without putting your blood, sweat, and tears into it. So even if it turns out bad, you have to pay respects to the people who actually fucking made it. And Sonic's a pretty good example of that, because Sonic 2006 is, like, one of those stereotypical bad games, and it took a lot of work to make that game, especially considering how fucking rushed it was. I think they had, like, less than a year of development time when you really crunched the numbers on it. Like, that shit got rushed out the door. So it took a lot of energy for them to do it, and you can tell they still kind of look back on that game with some affection. You can tell they were still like, man, we can't hate our own game. Do you know how much we busted our ass to make this stupid game that you think is so bad? Fuck you. So I really have a problem with the fucking conduct of that interviewer and how he was like, yeah, Sonic sucks, everything you make sucks. Stop making these games. Make more Sonic Mania. Make Knights again. Stupid asshole. And then the thing that really pissed me off was the reaction that interviewer got was unanimous support and praise. A savage 420 elite. Bunch of cum suckers. God damn, that pissed me off. So, like, in my head, like, these are the people who are excited for Sonic Mania. The people going, oh, if Sonic Mania sells well, they'll stop making 3D Sonic games. Yeah, savage, bro. You told the guy who makes Sonic that Sonic sucks to his face. Whoa. Fuck these people. So, like, ever since the beginning, my feelings towards Sonic Mania have been colored by my distaste for the people who are excited for Sonic Mania. The primary demographic that Sonic Mania is being made for, when you really get right down to it, is those people who say Sonic hasn't been good since the Genesis. Or at least, that's how I felt about it at the time, and for all of the year leading up till now. Because, I mean, you can't really blame me, that's how they're marketing it. The marketing, up until this point, has been heavily based on hitting on that nostalgia bait. On going, hey, remember the Genesis games? Weren't they good? LOL, the games suck now. Let's go back to the golden age when the Sonic games are actually good in 2D. That's what the marketing was up until now. Really heavily hitting on that. And of course, these people have been lapping it up, and I've been becoming more and more disinterested. I knew the game, I always have been like, yeah, the game's gonna be good. I mean, come on, it's a Sonic game. There aren't really any bad Sonic games except for that one bad Sonic game. So obviously it's gonna be good. I'm gonna play it, and it's good. It's gonna be exciting. But you know, I'm not a fan of these like retro nostalgia bait throwback games. Like, I'm more interested in doing something new. I don't want another old thing. I've played the old thing. I can go back and play the old thing whenever I want. I just did an entire video series playing all of the old Sonic games in a row. And guess what? They're still good. I can just go back and play them. I'm not interested in another old thing. I want a new thing. I want to see where the series goes from here. I want to see them expand on new ideas and push the boundaries. Oh, you're making another Genesis game. Okay, that's what it was to me, another Genesis game, you know? And really, the fact that people are lapping that up and demanding more of the same and demanding more of what they've always had really speaks a lot about, you know... Anyway, that's kind of getting into an entire other topic. But, you know, for me, it's it's that kind of like, this is kind of a well-worn statement, but it's like, people say they want what they've always been given. Like, I liked that, I want another one of that. That's what they say. They don't actually want what they think they want, though. What they want is, like, your job as a creator is to give people what they didn't know they wanted. So that they can go, oh shit, I wanted this all along, but I didn't realize it because I was too busy always asking for that same old shit that I've always gotten. And, like, that's a thing that's often said. And, like, for me, I make a conscious effort to try and reject that. I make a conscious effort to reject, oh yeah, that old thing. Like, I really hated Mega Man 9. Like, that's always my big thing, because it's like, I always go back to Mega Man 9, because you had Mega Man 1 through 6, which were all NES games, and then, boom, Mega Man 7, Super Nintendo game. Then, boom, Mega Man 8, PlayStation 1 game. Look at the evolution here. You'd expect Mega Man 9 to be an evolution on Mega Man 8, right? Nope, another NES game, and hey, it's an NES game where we took out abilities that you had in later NES games. It's literally just Mega Man 2, again, without the innovations and expansions that Mega Man, 4 and 5 brought to the table. And people ate it the fuck up, and I'm like, what is wrong with you goddamn sheep? Why are you accepting this? I wanted Mega Man 9. I expect Mega Man 9 to look like this, because Mega Man 8 looked like this, and instead Mega Man 9 looks like this, and you're okay with that? suck my dick. So that, like, ever since Mega Man 9, I've made a very intentional effort on my part to resist that. I want the new thing. Don't show me that old thing. I want this new thing. Like, even games like Shovel Knight it's a new thing that's emulating an old thing, but it's still blatantly a new thing. No one's gonna play Shovel Knight and mistake it for an actual, like, 80s NES game. You can't hide that it's a new thing. It's just being painted with the same canvas that the old thing was painted on, but it's still using new paint. So to me, like, for a long time, Sonic Mania was just another Mega Man 9, and it was appealing to this crowd that I just don't have any real respect for. So for a long time, I was not excited for Sonic Mania. Like, I knew it was going to be good, and I was going to play it, and I was kind of resigned to the knowledge that it was going to be good, but I wasn't excited for it. And this panel, I don't know what they've been, I guess up until now the hype train has been working for them because it is attracting that audience, but they finally managed to market the game to me. They finally managed to get me interested. They found the fucking chemical mix to inject into me to get the blood fucking pumping because they gave me what I didn't know I wanted. They gave me the new shit. Because that's the thing. They finally came out and, like, showed Sonic Mania isn't a Genesis game. Another Sonic Genesis game. It's the Sega Saturn game we never got to make. And that made all the difference in the world to me. You might not even really get what I'm talking about, but it's not another old Genesis game. It's the first new Sega Saturn Sonic game. They're opening up the time machine, going back, and making a Sonic game for the Sega Saturn like they never got a chance to. And that made all the difference in the world to me. I was like, I'm totally on board now. You're doing it. You're doing the thing. Like, why didn't you tell me this earlier? I would have been way more excited all this time. I'm super hyped now. Because I got this coffee table book about Sonic. Hold on. I got this Sonic coffee table book, which it's weird to me that that's what these are actually called. Because it's a book that you put on your coffee table, I guess. But anyway, there's this whole section in it. It's like this whole history on Sega as a company centered around the Sonic series. And there's this whole, like, section talking about, like, the Sega Saturn and their trials and tribulations in trying to make a Sonic game for it. And they really just never got around to doing it. Here's, like, a picture of Knights. And the story behind it was Yuji Naka, like the father of Sonic, was sick of making Sonic games. So he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna skip the Saturn and make other games. And that's where Knights came from. He was like, he really wanted to kind of get away from Sonic for a while. So other teams in Sega tried to make a Sonic game in 3D for like the 32X and the Sega Saturn, but it really just never ended up working out. So Sonic kind of technically skipped an entire Sega console there. Like, the closest they got was Sonic Jam, which was really just a compilation of all the Genesis Sonic games. But the interesting thing about Sonic Jam was it included a short, like, beta build of a game called Sonic World. Which, that's a bad picture of it, but I'll include some actual footage because it was a real, like, that was what Sonic Adventure was going to be before the Dreamcast. They were working on it, but they, kind of like with Star Fox 2, they decided, okay, the new console's coming out, fuck it, just start making a game for the new console instead. So Sonic World, what we have of it, that's as far as they got along trying to make a game for the Saturn. And it's actually, like, a pretty interesting relic, but it's not really a Sonic game. There wasn't really a Sonic game on the Sega Saturn. So Sonic Mania is them finally going, we're gonna make a Sonic game for the Sega Saturn, like 15 years out of time, right? They even talk about at the panel. They literally say the words, "The Genesis wouldn't have been powerful enough to run Sonic Mania. We had to go Saturn." And the moment that really unlocked it for me was they showed a screenshot of the special stage, like the how you collect the Chaos Emerald special stage, and it's Sonic World. I was like, oh my god, it's a fucking Sega Saturn game. Like, literally, if you look, it's not the best picture in the world, but if you look, that is just the model that was on Sonic Jam in Sonic World. That is the exact same model. They're literally just making a Saturn game. Sonic Mania is a Saturn game. That's the coolest thing. Like, that more than anything finally, opened my eyes. Like, you showed me what I didn't know I wanted. I didn't know all this time I wanted a Sega Saturn game of Sonic. It's the missing link. It's the connector. Like, Sonic 3 and Knuckles on the Genesis, then the Saturn, Night, but no Sonic game, and then boom, the Genesis, the Dreamcast, with Sonic Adventure. Sonic Mania is the missing link that connects the Genesis Sonic games to the Saturn Sonic games to the Dreamcast. It's like they're finally doing it, and that realization is what finally cranked it up for me. Like, okay, I am on the train. I'm here. All the other passengers on this train are stupid and they're assholes, but I'm on the train. I'm excited for Sonic Mania. And in general, it's just a really good panel. By the time I put this up, the footage of the panel is probably going to be on YouTube, so you can just watch it. But going off of the Twitter feed of the the media who were in the room at the time, what I really liked about it was they started out introducing everyone who was on the panel, everyone who was working on the game, and I'm not sure how the fuck you pronounce that name. Takashi Iizuka. I'm not sure. But they really emphasize that no, it's not a one-man show, it's not just Taxman and Stealth. That was a big problem. Even I was doing that, where I was like, oh, Taxman is just making a fucking ROM hack, and Sonic Team's publishing it. No. This is a full-on Sonic Team effort with Taxman and Stealth kind of holding the reins. But they have the full support and resources of Sonic Team at their back. The head of Sonic Team is supervising the development, and there's dozens of people, not dozens, I think over a dozen people working on this game. It's not just the auteur theory is attributing the creation of an artistic endeavor to the one central creative individual, but it's a team effort. And they really went out of their way to emphasize that. It's not just the dudes on this panel here. There's an entire team that has our backs, that's making this game possible. You gotta give it up for them. You gotta pay dividends. And that was such a nice factor. Because, again, you just kind of go, oh, Taxman's making a new game. No, it's come on. That was necessary, it feels like, And then also they talked about, this game started in 2016. The cool thing was, they pitched it to Sega, which is cool. And they had, a working prototype going at the time, but really this game was made in a year, which is both hilarious because Sonic haters always kind of point to a rushed development cycle as a reason Sonic games are bad. And then here, this game they're excited for has been made in a year, less than a year, give or take. But that's appropriate to me because Sonic games have always been rushed. Like, going back to Sonic 2 was made in like 10 months or something like that. It almost feels traditional. It would almost feel inappropriate if they had more time to work on it. Meanwhile, Sonic Forces, they started working on that like the second Lost World shipped. They've been working on Sonic Forces since like 2013. So that's had a much longer time to bake. And there was this like really touching story about how like at first Iizuka was like, man, you can't just come to me and say you can make a Sonic game. That shit's hard, okay? You guys don't fucking appreciate how fucking hard this shit is, you know? But then they showed him what they had to work with, and, like, immediately, like, apparently he was so captivated and so smitten by what they brought to the table that he brought out a whiteboard and wrote Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles and CD, and then wrote Sonic Mania. Like, that is how I feel about the game you guys are going to make with us. That is the confidence I have. I am putting it up on the board with all of the classics that everyone loves and talks about. The games that you guys grew up playing as children and that have inspired your career as developers, starting out as members of the ROM hack community. I am greenlighting the game that you guys are going to make and putting it here up on the board with those games, because that is the confidence I have in your ability to bring this game to fruition. And that, like, like, imagine being in the room when that happened. Imagine being in the room when the guy who creates the games that you are such a fan of and has inspired your creative career like that, says that. And it's like, oh, dude, like, that's gotta put a little choke. It's gotta put a little choke in your throat, you know? That's really cute. And they talk about the story, and I've been saying this for a while. I think this game is going to have animated cutscenes. They've been really evasive talking about that. I think, like, Aaron Weber came out and directly said, no, there's no animated cutscenes. I think there's going to be animated cutscenes. I still feel like there's going to be animated cutscenes, but during the panel they were kind of evasive about it. They said, like, there would be sprite cutscenes a la Sonic and Knuckles. Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I'm like, that's not... that's not a no. That's not a no, there's not going to be animated cutscenes. And they did confirm at the very end there's going to be a Sonic CD style animated intro, which I'm still taking that. I called it. This game's going to have animated cutscenes. Even if it's just the animated intro and ending, I'm still taking credit for it. I fucking called it. And also, it's going to be longer than Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I feel like the sweet spot would be 18 levels. I think they might go for 20, but the sweet spot is probably going to be around 18. That's what I hope they shoot for, but I can see them going for 20. I can't imagine there'll be more than 20 levels, but I can see them trying to go for 20. What was also great was, like, Stealth had a whole section where I talked about, like, programming is hard, you guys, and they literally just do a glitch highlight reel. They do a highlight reel showing his favorite glitches. Which I just loved that, because, like, it's always so, like, I'm always fascinated with, like, how is the sausage made? I want to see the creative process behind games, you know, like, not, oh, I'm gonna seek out, like, interviews and, like, like, obscure little stories that a developer might have said in an interview somewhere. Like, no, I want, like, a special features behind the scenes fucking creators commentaries showing, like, here's how we made the game. That's what I yearn for. But even in those, like, you never get developers talking about, like, here's the, like, fucking bullshit that was broke ass in this game before we fixed it. Like, here's the section on bug testing and fixing all this bullshit in the game that just completely fucking broke. like so many game companies like try and like whitewash over their bugs and like they want you to think that the game is perfect from pre-alpha. They want you to think this game is flawless and bug-free and has no problems from the first day. Like they really don't want like oh here's the golden egg, and they want to clean off all the bird shit that's on the egg before it like goes to market. Whereas this panel, Sonic Team's going, hey guys, check out all these fucked up glitches that were in the game before I fixed them, LOLOL. That's fucking awesome. Like, they're really just embracing it. They have transcended. They're like, fuck it. Let's have a panel. Let's have a panel and show off all the stupid glitches in our fucking unfinished-ass game. That's great. They should do that more often. Fucking Bethesda. You know what, Bethesda? I would be a lot more excited for your next game if instead of some cinematic, oh, check out all the features in our new game, you just showed a bug reel. You just showed, yeah, here's all the bugs that are giving me the game. We can't fix them before it comes out. These are going to be in there by the time the game comes out. Just check it out. Isn't this funny? Look at all these shitty glitches. Buy our game. That would be so much more... That would endeavor so much better positive public relations than trying to act like you're perfect and then, oh look, we found a bug. Fuck you, this game sucks. That is something I feel like that made me really... That was a lot of fun. I feel like a lot of companies could learn from that. I really appreciated the artists talking about like the sprite work, because this is a rant I will have until the end of time. I'm sick of lazy pixel junk indie devs shitting out like 4-bit garbage pixel art and going, oh, it's retro. Didn't retro games look like shit? So here's this shitty looking game that's retro. Just putting no work, no effort into it. It just looks like total garbage, and they expect you to make excuses for it because it's retro. Meanwhile, this fucking guy is putting 2 weeks of work in to animate all the fucking frames on this super detailed sprite. Like, goddamn, give it up. Give it up for sprite artists who are actually making art and not just vomiting up pixel junk and expecting you to be okay with it because it's retro. He's actually putting the fucking work in. This game has fucking pretty amazing visuals. Sonic is famous for its fucking music, people. I feel like that's what I keep saying with the games, like, why am I being redundant? You already know the music's good. It's a Sonic game. And then the reveal of the special stage, genuinely, that was the fucking pull the trigger moment that made me blow the fuck up. Like, it looks like it's going for this weird mishmash blend of the special stages from Sonic CD and the special stages from Sonic Heroes. It seems like there were some details being dropped about it. Like, you collect these orbs in order to speed up, and you're chasing after a UFO. So it really does sound like a combination of the special stages from Sonic Heroes and Sonic CD. But, like, the point, and I was really curious, because I was like, God, please just don't be a fucking half-pipe again. Don't be a goddamn half-pipe from Sonic 2 again. For fuck's sake. That's all I want. And they're doing something pretty original with it, but, like, again, the thing about this that really triggered in my brain was, it's the fucking Sega Saturn. That's the Sonic World model. Like, it's a Sega Saturn game. That's so exciting! They're making a Sega Saturn game! So yeah, I'm totally on the boat. I'm totally on the hype boat now. Ready to crash into that iceberg for Sonic Mania. They did it. They found the secret formula to finally make me go, okay, this is legit. You're not just shoving something out to appeal to the hate fucks. You're actually doing something interesting with this. Why'd you wait so long to tell me? But hey, better late than never, I guess. So, like, yeah, genuinely, woohoo. Took you guys a year, but you turned me around. I'm like, oh, Sonic hasn't been good since the Genesis. hate boner jerk-offs who are also excited for this game still piss me off, but like totally rocket ship to the moon, let's roll Sonic Mania now. Thanks for this panel, guys. Holy shit. Hey guys, try and do a favor for me. See if you can do this. Express your excitement for Sonic Mania without needlessly shitting on Sonic Forces. Hey, I'm really excited for Sonic Mania. LOL, Sonic Forces is gonna be bad. Why do you gotta do that? What do you gain? What do you stand to gain? How are your feelings towards Sonic Mania improved by needlessly throwing shade on Sonic Forces for no reason? I don't understand the mentality behind that. You can be excited, you don't have, I don't care about Sonic Forces. I'm excited for Sonic Mania. Nothing bad to say about Sonic Forces, but Sonic Mania is the game I prefer. That's okay. It's okay to not be interested in Sonic Forces and be excited for Sonic Mania. It's the LOL Sonic Mania, why even bother making Sonic Forces? Just cancel that game, get rid of it. You guys are the ones that I'm just gonna throw on the burning pile of tires. Fair? That sound fair? I feel like that's fair. It's okay, you can do it. I believe in you. I believe that you're capable of doing it. Express your excitement for Sonic Mania without shitting on Sonic Forces. Maybe it can be done. I don't know.